Hello and welcome to G Fun Facts Online, the show that unpacks the amazing science and hidden stories behind our everyday lives. Today, we're going to talk about something most of us do almost every single day: getting around town. Whether you're hopping on a bus, catching a train, riding a bike, or sitting in traffic in your car, you probably think of your commute as just that, a commute. A simple matter of getting from point A to point B. But what if I told you that your daily journey is so much more than that? What if it's a window into the very soul of your city, a reflection of its deepest inequalities, its culture, and its future? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the unseen forces that shape our urban movements. We're diving into the sociology of transportation to understand how getting around town is about a whole lot more than just the commute. Let's start with a hard truth. The way we navigate our cities is a powerful magnifying glass for social division. Access to good, affordable transportation can be a golden ticket to opportunity, unlocking better jobs, education, and healthcare. But a lack of it can be a closed gate, creating barriers that are incredibly difficult to overcome. This brings us to the first major issue: economic disparities. For many people, especially those with lower incomes, the sheer cost of transportation is a massive hurdle. Owning and maintaining a car is expensive, but even public transport fares can take a significant bite out of a weekly budget. When getting to a better-paying job across town costs too much, people get stuck. This creates a vicious cycle known as transport poverty, where the inability to afford mobility and economic hardship feed into each other, trapping people and entire communities. This isn't just a local problem. In many developing nations, new, modern transport systems are often designed with the affluent in mind, while the urban poor, who frequently travel long distances to work in wealthier areas, find their own needs completely overlooked. This inequality isn't just about money. It's also deeply embedded in geography and, sadly, race. Sociological studies have repeatedly shown a disturbing pattern. Low-income neighborhoods and communities with a higher proportion of ethnic minorities are far more likely to be transit deserts. A transit desert is an area where public transport is scarce, unreliable, or non-existent. This means residents face brutally long commute times, sometimes stringing together multiple bus routes and long walks just to get to work. This not only eats up time but also severely limits their access to the best employment opportunities, which are often concentrated elsewhere. In some American cities, this lack of adequate public transport has been directly linked to the geographic concentration of poverty, effectively reinforcing segregation. And the inequality doesn't stop there. Think about the design of a typical bus or train station. Is it designed with everyone in mind? Often the answer is no. Transport systems are frequently not gender responsive. Poor lighting, long waits at isolated stops, and overcrowded carriages can create serious safety concerns, particularly for women and girls. This fear isn't just an inconvenience. It can be a genuine barrier that limits a woman's ability and willingness to travel for work, education, or social activities, especially after dark. This has a real impact on women's participation in the workforce, a problem seen across the globe. Then there's the issue of physical accessibility. The United Nations estimates that about 15% of the world's population lives with some form of disability. For them, a city's transport network can be a minefield of obstacles. A lack of ramps, elevators, audible announcements, or space for wheelchairs can make independent travel impossible. This effectively cuts off a huge segment of the population from fully participating in society. So the simple act of getting from one place to another is, for many, a daily struggle against economic, racial, and physical barriers built right into the fabric of our cities. But transportation isn't just a story of inequality. It's also a vibrant part of a city's cultural identity. The way a city moves has its own rhythm, its own pulse. Think about the morning rush in Tokyo's subway, the organized chaos of scooters in Hanoi, or the iconic yellow cabs of New York City. These are all part of what sociologists call a city's mobility culture. This culture isn't just about the main ways people get around. It's also found in the fascinating subcultures that spring up around different modes of transport. You have dedicated cycling communities who organize group rides and advocate for better bike lanes. You have the fluid artistry of skateboarders using the urban landscape as their playground. There is even a shared experience, a quiet camaraderie, among the regular riders of a specific bus line who see the same faces every day. These seemingly ordinary moments, the shared glance with a fellow commuter, the sound of a train arriving, the flow of pedestrians on a busy street, are the building blocks of a city's unique character. They are the lived experiences that give a city its soul. Now let's pivot to a much more complex and often controversial topic: gentrification. We often hear that new public transportation projects, like a new light rail or subway line, are great for a neighborhood. They can bring economic benefits, reduce traffic, and connect communities. But there's a dark side to this progress. This phenomenon is sometimes called transit-induced gentrification. Here's how it works. A new, convenient transit line is built in a historically underserved, often lower-income neighborhood. This makes the area much more attractive to wealthier professionals who want an easy commute. As demand surges, property values and rents skyrocket. Suddenly, the long-term residents, the very people the transit line was supposedly built to help, can no longer afford to live in their own neighborhood. They get priced out. Studies in cities like Los Angeles have revealed a shocking paradox. After new transit lines were built in gentrifying neighborhoods, public transit ridership in those areas actually went tumble down. Why? Because the original transit-dependent residents were forced to move away, replaced by more affluent newcomers who were far more likely to own and use cars. So the multi-million-dollar public transit project ends up serving a wealthier, car-owning population while displacing the people who needed it most. This not only weakens the public transit system through lower ridership, but also undermines environmental goals by increasing car dependency in the long run. It highlights a critical challenge for urban planners. How do you improve a neighborhood's infrastructure without displacing its community? The answer seems to lie in careful, holistic planning that includes robust, affordable housing policies to ensure that the benefits of improved transit are shared by everyone, not just those who can afford the rising rents. So where does this all leave us? What does the road ahead look like? The future of urban transport is standing at a major crossroads, shaped by mind-blowing new technologies on one hand, and a growing awareness of social and environmental justice on the other. First, let's talk tech. Shared autonomous vehicles, or SAVs, are no longer science fiction. Ride-sharing services are already a part of our daily lives. And micromobility options like e-scooters and bike-share programs are popping up everywhere. These innovations promise a future of more efficient, convenient, and on-demand travel. But here's the crucial question. Will this new technology be a great equalizer, or will it just create new forms of inequality? Some research suggests that without very careful planning and regulation, these new services could primarily benefit the young, tech-savvy, and affluent, leaving behind the elderly, the poor, and those with disabilities, potentially making our transit deserts even more isolated. In response to these challenges, there is a growing global movement pushing for a new culture of urban mobility. This new culture would prioritize sustainability, accessibility, and overall quality of life above all else. It's not just about spending money on shiny new trains or high-tech solutions. It's about a fundamental shift in mindset. It means seriously investing in safe, protected infrastructure for cycling and walking. It means designing streets for people, not just for cars. It involves education and awareness campaigns to change public behavior and encourage more sustainable choices. It requires integrated planning, where housing, employment, and transport are all considered together. Ultimately, the sociology of urban transport teaches us a profound lesson. Transportation systems are not just about engineering and logistics. They aren't just about moving vehicles from point A to point B as quickly as possible. They are about connecting people. They are about building communities. A truly successful transport system must be designed with the diverse needs of all its users in mind, from the daily commuter to the occasional tourist, from the able-bodied cyclist to the elderly person with a walker. By understanding these intricate social dynamics, by seeing the hidden forces at play every time we travel, we can begin to work towards creating cities that are not only more efficient, but more just, more inclusive, and ultimately, better places to live for everyone. Thanks for tuning in to G Fun Facts Online. Next time you're on your commute, take a look around. You might just see your city in a whole new light.